Hey there team, welcome back for the third of four modules as part of the Technology for School Leaders EDLEAD 6240 course. This is module 3, and before we get underway, let's talk about the goals of the course. The goal of this course is to facilitate a constructivist development of student knowledge around the role of tech within schools and the needed leadership qualities, to see that the tech is used as a tool to improve student learning outcomes. So this is a theme that we're going to continue to revisit. I think the main word that I really want to highlight this week is the word constructivist, and this has been a theme throughout your course, your master's degree. This is about building one week after the other, one piece after another, and through collaboration as well. This is really critical part of your personal inquiry. We're going to talk about that in a moment. First of all, though, I'm going to upload the keynote to Schoology. That will be part of the Module 3 materials for this week. There you will see this week as well as all previous week's materials. So that will be there. What you're seeing on screen now, will be there for you to download and peruse at your will. So I'm not going to go through all of the old material. The purpose of this short video is to do a quick reflection of Module 2, as well as pick up on some points for Module 1. The submission of tasks has been, as expected, a little bit patchy, and that's because we are all travelling, it seems. Well, unless you're Kevin and Chris, that is. So, who are doing summer school. So, here we go. So, first up, one of your tasks this week was to look at your personal inquiry. This is the part of this particular course that I see as being really the most critical. Your task was to revisit your personal inquiry, and that you posted at the end of Module 1 on the updates page, and also compose a blog post that reflects your current thinking and progress about the role of leadership, the role of technology, and linked to what you are doing in your own jobs. And also furthermore, to actually make some connections between what you're doing and what people in the cohort are doing. And that's why we started by posting to the updates page. It's why also we've moved towards, in Module 2, to doing a blog post reflection. Now that you've had some time to work through some materials, connect, and then start to really dig into that constructivist piece of the course, which is making this meaningful. So you're asked to clarify, modify, redraft, question your topic. A number of you have actually made some changes to your topic. So I want to share some of that with you, as well as to identify some of the resources that you would need. I want to bring your attention to the fact that while this is very much context specific, your context is really a beginning point. It's where your leadership, your career in leadership, if this is where you're going, your future career that you identified in the student survey at the start, this is where it begins in your personal context. And many of the lessons that you'll take from what you are doing now in your classrooms, on the fields, in your music classrooms, this is where your journey really, it began a long time ago. So, but this course is really around leadership. And so what I do want to bring to your attention this week as well is to really be making that effort to be thinking about it perhaps in a slightly different way, and to be thinking about it from the perspective of leadership. So the resources I think this week are really going to assist with that. So first of all, let's have a look at, I'm not going to go through each of these blog posts, but I just want to bring to your attention some of the great content. Jared's blog post this week was a particularly good one. He's talking about using technology in PE to enhance the experience of learning in class without taking away from the actual physical aspects of the course. This is also something that Tony is grappling with, and this is also something that Simon is grappling with. So these are three people in our cohort who are each grappling with some version of that, and really trying to figure out, well, what is the role of technology? This is a really good post to have a look at. Julie's post is also a good one. Julie, for those of you who don't know, is moving into the Kinder Immersion program, year 1 this year, and she is identifying some really useful strategies to take her own use of technology forward. Again, focus focusing now, moving towards leadership. So this is a good one. This is that constructivist building, and I can see it, and you can see it by following and having a look at some of the great content. Some of the best content of this course so far has actually come from the blogs, your blogs. So Simon's update, there it is. I've chosen a pretty useful quote from him. He said, "I realized that change needs to start by focusing on students, finding out what works best for them, and then connecting with educators around the world through social media in order to discover the possibilities for tech integration in elementary school." Simon, this is one of the design principles. I hope that you can see each of these sort of elements, hopefully pointed to in the course. You're blogging, you've started engaging via social media through Twitter, one task, mind you, and of course the discussion rooms, which I think are actually proving to be one of the most powerful engine rooms in terms of thought and developing ideas. So the discussion rooms have been good. That's a great post, Simon. Jared, we should even let the students lead us. This is where his personal inquiry is taking him. He's now coming to the realization that really this is about letting go of some control. And Sean is saying the same thing. His posts each have a theme which I would describe as making yourself more open, making yourself more vulnerable. And he in his post this week, one of the posts this week, I've shown my students my vulnerabilities and I am honest with them. And as far as Twitter goes, we are now underway. And so we have our two main hashtags. You can maybe spot them there on screen now. But the EDLEAD 6240 is our official Twitter hashtag, as well as you and I EDLEAD. And I've given you a number of other useful ones to attach onto if you want to start engaging with people from outside of our little pond. And that's really what we're trying to achieve. Julie made her debut on Twitter this week, and she said, "I'm excited, and it's amazing to follow so many experts and learn from them as well. Today is my productive day," and Julie has now gone on to post, actually very cleverly, and not the only one to think of this, but to take their blog post and of course tweet it. I've done the same for a number of your posts too, which I thought were particularly impressive, and trying to help facilitate some of that movement from being in the pond to being swimming in a much larger one with other educators from around the world. Tony's blog posts are fascinating, and to return to some of the thoughts around the personal inquiry, and Tony discusses tech use. And he's alluding really to SAMR, which is useful because that's actually one of the topics this week, and the challenges of enhancing learning and the leadership, this challenge that the leadership challenges that this poses, and the changing of power in the classroom. I think that's an interesting one. I think that's probably one of the more interesting parts of this particular blog post, where he talks about really getting down to it. How is the role of the teacher actually changing? Because it is changing. But meanwhile, the surrounding clatter, I guess, is that, and that's why I've chosen this quote, while many schools are investing millions into their tech programs, others are abandoning theirs or banning technology completely. Why? That's a great post to have a look at. And Georgia said, "I'm excited by the ease and access that students have to their own passions. This being one of the great promises of technology, and our role is to indeed challenge our role, make ourselves more vulnerable, make ourselves more open, allow students to lead us to where their passions are and connect with them." And this is reflected in Georgia's work this week. So I really got one main note from Module 2 this week, and that's referencing. We need to, I want to encourage you to attend to that more stridently, and to make sure that you are indeed using the APA 6th edition conventions. I'm going to share with you a short YouTube clip that gives you access to a really easy tool for doing that, actually, via a site called citethisforme.com. and so you'll receive that video in the materials for this week as well. So keep an eye out for that one. And that's all for the reflection on this week. There'll be another to come next week, and I hope that you see this as being valuable, at least in just tying together the work that we're doing and that we've done. Some of you still doing, and that's fine too. But